Steve was your average Joe. He worked in a factory that makes acid for some reason. He had always longed for something more than making acid. One day, Evil Magic, a supervillain which was the arch nemesis of Supertray, broke into the factory and shot the place up with his magic wand. One of the shots struck Steve, knocking Steve into a vat of acid while putting a hole into his chest. When he fell into the acid, the magic power was still hurting his wound, which gave him superpowers. He could sense things and even see when his eyes were closed, and heard things even when his ears were covered in the acid. Most importantly, he could multiply his body when struck. When he rose from the acid and confronted Evil Magic laughed at him. "You think that you can stop me, Wiggles? Oh, oh, that's good." Evil Magic laughed. Evil Magic shot his wand at Steve, but when it hit Steve, Steve's body multiplied, making a clone of Steve. The two Steves would try and beat up Evil Magic, but Super Trey and Super Victor arrived, so Steve and the clone smashed into each other, making them into one again. Steve and Evil Magic would flee the scene that day. And that day, Steve became the Wedge Worm. Steve was approached by a man named Dr. Leo Fox, who offered $1 billion if he helped Dr. Leo with making trillions of money illegally by hatching a plan to kill Evil Magic and Super Trey at the same time. Steve took the deal, but little did he know he would have to go through a battle with a vigilante on the rise named Blue Devil, who was trying to stop Dr. Leo to save Super Trey. Steve was so upset about this and wanted to kill Blue Devil more than he did Evil Magic and Super Trey. So much that he got another supervillain to help him take down the Blue Devil. When the Blue Devil and Steve battled on top of the roof, Blue Devil sliced Steve over and over again, but Steve kept on getting cloned by the strikes. Blue Devil got outnumbered, but when all the Steves ran at him, he dodged them, and they all fell off the roof and hit the ground. See, Steve could only multiply when sliced, but falling off a cliff could truly kill him as long as he doesn't get sliced on the way down. Steve had finally been defeated by Blue Devil. Alright, design notes. I really like how it looks. I had this idea in my mind. It's kind of inspired by a character by an OC that I made a long time ago named Electric Man for my OC Super Quinn. But I wanted to make this look different from him. So I made him have like a similar color thing to a worm. Originally in this hand, originally there was supposed to be him holding a, what do they call it? I think it's called like mace or something. Anyway, but I decided to get rid of that because I forgot to color it, and I was like, forget it. But yeah, I try to add a little bit more detail than I usually do, but yeah, I think that it looks pretty good. So have a good day.